Alright, welcome to the Pokemon Timelocke. I'm finally giving a breakdown on the Timelocke challenge, how I made it, what inspired me to make it, and just, the whole gist of it. I never thought I'd be making a Nuzlocke challenge, much less a harder version of a Nuzlocke challenge, but here we go. Welcome to the Timelocke. So, I'm going to bet the question is right now, what is a Timelocke? Why am I doing this? What led me to making a Timelocke or my own type of Nuzlocke? And I wanted a different type of challenge to my regular Pokemon playthrough, and I felt that one thing that I never really challenged myself on was time. So the rules of the Timelocke are relatively simple, not anything too hard to understand. Rule number 1, gotta beat the game within 24 hours. This includes out-of-story training time. Just treat it like a Nuzlocke with time condition involved, so you have to beat the game within 24 hours. That includes training. If you don't do it, you lose the Timelocke. Simple as that. That's rule number 1. Rule number 2, you have to beat each gym leader and a boss by a certain time. Keep a timer to track your own time, i.e. in black and white you gotta beat Silent, Chili, or Crest within 30 minutes. That's how fast I did it. You just gotta beat the gym leader or a certain boss by a certain point, a certain time. Rule number 3. Well, actually, no, not rule number 3. When does a Timelocke start or end? The Timelocke starts when you get your first Pokemon and ends when you beat the final boss of the game. Normally this is the champion fight, but black and white being weird, they had Getsus be the final battle in the story. So, yeah. Depending on what games you're playing. There are 3 modes to a Timelocke. There's easy mode, which every 20 levels of Pokemon can gain an extra life. If you miss a time, you can go back to a previous save point, but you actually have to add the time that you spent. So if you spent 30 minutes and then lose, you gotta add that 30 minutes to your end time. Pretty simple, and every 20 levels you get a new life. You get a Pokemon gets extra life. Decent. There's hard mode. If you miss the time or get beat in a battle, you have to restart in the beginning and add that time to the total amount you complete the game. So if you lose, you gotta add all that time on top of the time of when you beat the game. Also, there's no extra lives, and your Pokemon cannot exceed the next boss's strongest Pokemon level. And then there's hardcore mode. Hardcore mode, you can only use the first 6 Pokemon you capture, no matter how many times you lose. And if you can restart and only use those 6. No extra lives, nothing. Good luck with that, because I have yet to try it, but I'm pretty sure it's possible. So I'll just give a little bit more detail on each of the modes. Easy mode is pretty simple, straightforward. Every 20 levels, your Pokemon that you have in your team gets your extra life. So if you get to the Elite Four and you got 60 Pokemon level 60, they add 3 extra lives on top of the one they already have. In hard mode, it's the same thing, but the time is just, you have to do the time. But if you lose, you have to add the time that you lost. So say for example you played 12 hours of the game and then you lose, you have to go back to the beginning and start with 12 hours already on your timer. And then the hardcore mode is probably the hardest, and I really didn't anticipate it being that hard. But hardcore mode is simply if you get 6 Pokemon, get the first 6 Pokemon you can get. So for example, it's black and white, you get your starter, Herdier, Patrat, Purloin, Panpour, and a Pidove. You gotta beat the game with those 6 Pokemon within the 24 hours, and if you lose, you gotta restart and use only those 6 Pokemon every time you go through it. So yeah, not the hardest thing in the world, but I'm pretty sure we got this. So yeah, I bet you're wondering, Pokemon Timelocke, what led me to think this is a good idea? I wanted a challenge. Honestly, I really wanted to challenge my Pokemon playthroughs, and I felt like putting a time restriction would be the best thing for me to do. And I bet you're wondering, okay, so you made this Timelocke challenge, when are you gonna try it? I will start my Timelocke challenge every Tuesday and every Thursday, going from, well, I don't know how long it's gonna take me to beat the game. It should take me less than 24 hours, but it's gonna start Tuesday, August 27th, and I'll be uploading every Tuesday and every Thursday, which hopefully should be a decent amount of time for me to record and edit. So yeah, that's basically it. That's the time lock. You'll get to know what game I'm playing in the future. Maybe I might leave a little hint in the description. Check it out. Also, my Discord's in the description. My second channel's in the description if you want to subscribe to that. I'm making music over there, which I will get back to. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you in the next video. Giving basically a channel update in general because I'm going to college now. Yay. Peace.